It's time once again for Here's What's Happening in Carrington, New Rockford, and surrounding areas on KDAK.
All right, this morning we're glad to be joined by Dion Schaaf, District Manager for the Foster County Soil Conservation District. Good morning, Dion.
Good morning, Greg.
And how's it going this morning?
Well, I would say a little damp.
A little damp, yes. That's kind of the damp and foggy.
Yeah.
Hard time seeing this morning.
I think I'm glad I don't have to go to the field today. It would be kind of a look where you're going because you can't see who's coming sort of situation.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, all right, well, Dion, we're a little bit short this morning, huh?
We were expecting another person, and our only guess is that he's in the wrong radio station.
So Mike, if you're listening, we're on Main Street now. We're on Main Street, 956 Main Street. Feel free to stop by. We got about 7 minutes for you to stop in. So.
Oh well,
but Dion's here and she's ready to fill in for you.
We'll
so,
try. We'll
right.
try.
Well, so we got to talk soil erosion this morning, right? Okay.
And Mike was actually the inspiration for this subject because the Carrington Research Extension Center has a weekly blog. And a couple of weeks back, he was talking about how the big wind that we had for a couple of days had taken all of the soybean residue and blown it off into the ditches, in some places 3 foot deep. And so we wanted to talk about, this is North Dakota, the wind blows, and this is a problem. I got a couple of figures off the internet. It says the average rate of soil erosion on cropland in the U.S. is 7 tons per acre per year. So erosion is a big problem, and they found, I don't have the source for this, but they found that the soil removed by erosion contains about 3 times more nutrients and 1.5 to 5 times more organic matter than the soil that gets left behind. So it's taking the good stuff, the stuff that you really use. And another study found that erosion decreases productivity on American cropland by about $37.6 billion every year. So this is, it's not just the dirty 30s, it's still affecting us today. It's something that we really need to deal with. And folks around here probably also notice this other problem with erosion. It causes sediment to go into your streams and wetlands, makes them shallower and wider, blocks drainages. It can be a real problem with your water control as well. So this is something that we really need to still be thinking about, still be dealing with, and as that blow with all the soybean residue shows, even residue and no-till isn't a complete fix for it. So this is, there are some things that you can do. Obviously, conservation tillage is one of the biggest ones that people are doing these days for controlling your erosion. When you're plowing, tilling, this is going to both eliminate the cover over the top of the soil and destroy the root systems, and all of this is protecting the soil, keeping it in place. So when you go to no-till or strip-till, ways that leave the previous crop's residue there, leave the roots in place, that helps to hold your soil. They say you need to have at least 30% of the soil surface covered with residue after the following planting is done in order to have it be much benefit. No-till methods, some of them can do is leave as much as 70% cover, so this is an important benefit. It also, of course, simply improves the soil organic matter as your residue decomposes. And I think most of the people that are doing it are also getting an economic advantage because you're taking less trips with the tractor, less time, less fuel, less labor involved. So conservation tillage is going to have multiple benefits. And most of the things that I'm reading, granted, it's no-till magazines that are coming in. They're saying that in most situations, whether it's too much water or not enough water, the conservation tillage is going to do as well or better. So it's something that if you're not doing it already, I really hope people will look into it and see, you know, what the advantages can be. The other two ways that most people use to prevent soil erosion, one that we've been pushing a lot is cover crops, of course. These are going to hold your soil in place, protect them against the erosion by both wind and rain, and the above ground portion will protect them from impacts from the raindrops. The actual raindrops can, you know, break soil loose and make it easier for it to move. Also, they found that long-term use of cover crops will increase water infiltration and reduce the runoff, which, of course, is a big problem with soil and that sedimentation in your drainages. The third one is called basically buffer strips, and, of course, the most common one we have around here is your tree shelter belts around the edges of the fields. And these tree windbreaks have another advantage. They improve your average yield within the field by protecting it from the, protecting the crops from the effects of the wind. They grow better, they have more moisture, all of that. So that's the most common one. Another one that you see less around here, but it is an option, is a vegetative buffer. I wish. Buffer strips. These are perennial vegetation, sometimes shrubs, and this can be on either the field edge or the drainage edge. Again, it protects from wind erosion, and along drainages it'll keep that sediment from getting into there and shallowing them out. So again, if you're looking at conservation tillage, cover crops, and buffer strips, those are the three main ways that we use to prevent erosion in this country.
Okay.
So it's as I said, still a big issue. It's still having a big effect out there, as anybody can say who was out there on a windy day and had to close their eyes and turn against the wind.
Right. Yeah. That one day, well, it was a weekend. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and it just came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like the winds came up. We all kind of knew it was coming, but just a huge dust storm.
Mm-hmm. So,
sandpaper. Yeah, right, exactly.
Flying sandpaper.
Yep. Yep, that sounds good. Well, thanks, Dion. That's some good tips there. I have someone on the phone line. Unfortunately, I can't answer right now. We're on the air, so I don't really know what to do. I don't know if someone's standing by there or whatever, but anything else this morning, Dion, to chat about?
Just a couple of announcements. We do the Casseron application in the fall on your shelter belts, the granular herbicide. Anybody interested in that should give me a call pretty soon here. And it's going out a bit late, but our newsletter will be going out later this week, and our tree order form will be in there. If you haven't ordered yet, please take a look, or if you don't get the newsletter, give me a call and we'll get one to you. So we need to get those tree orders in pretty soon here too.
Okay. Lots of good trees to purchase, right?
Yeah, there's a pretty good selection. We're already out of one species, but it's getting late fast.
Yeah,
very fast.
Right. All right, well, sounds good. Let's see. All right, thanks, Dion, for joining us, and we'll check in again next month, right?
All right, we'll see you then.
You bet. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You bet. That's Dion Schaff joining us this morning here for another edition of Here's What's Happening. Dion Schaff is the district manager for the Foster County Soil Conservation District.